Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beavermosh, here today to talk to you about Dreams of Dysphoria, the new record from the London-based death metal band Vacuous. This record is coming off of Meisako Unoho Records. And Vacuous is building off the momentum that they garnered with their 2020 EP, Catabasis. And Catabasis made some noise and was definitely well received by many within the underground metal community. The way that Vacuous comes at death metal is by crafting these very dense atmospheres and injecting, I would say, some subtle elements of grind. This right here, this is death metal, and death metal bathing in rot and slime. Devotion gives Dreams of Dysphoria its eerie start. You have these doomy guitar riffs, and the drums sort of creep in with these conjuring patterns. The vocals are harsh and wicked. This is a menacing way to kick off a record. And at the end of the track, you get these reverb-soaked, brooding guitar leads, and the vocalist sort of takes a step back. And in the background, gives off these unsettling, directionless streaks that kind of just go into the void. It's horrifying. This is a claustrophobic listen. Now, Body of Punishment, it's just that. It's punishing. The drums come through with this crust punk inspired, the D beat pattern. It's very ferocious. And it supports these corrupted riffs from the guitar and bass. This track is just a suffocating mammoth wall of sound. Matriarchal Blood is one of the more groove-laden cuts here, and the vocalist sort of flexes their diversity. And they do that by peppering in some more black metal inspired grating shrieks amongst the more guttural growls. And one of my favorite moments is on this track in particular. The music sort of cuts out for a little bit, subtly. And the drums introduce themselves back in with this triplet pattern on the toms. And it kind of is foreshadowing this incoming blast of cavernous filth that hits you, and it hits you hard. Now, I really geek out about these gargantuan hammering downstroke guitars that work in tandem with these vengeful rim shots, snare shots from the drummer on Paranoia Rites. And this leads into one of the slower parts of the record. It's an instrumental section. And on this passage, it's swampy. It's muddy. It's like a very brief break from the intensity. It's like the band was almost teasing you, like, here you go, we know we're throwing so much at you, here's your rest, and they put it in air quotes and kind of give you a wink. Stigmata Scourge. You have these dizzying, disorienting tempo changes throughout that never really settle anywhere. never really lands at any point, at any place on this track. The guitars do this really cool sort of vibrato thing that really works to instill the hypnotic and creeping nature of this track. Vacuous came through with a vicious, tightly packaged project here with Dreams of Dysphoria. Vacuous makes it known that they have very little patience for flash, or frills, or fat. This is a swift 32-minute and some change listen. It's a gruesome, toxic album. They set themselves apart from other death metal acts through their keen understanding and radar for, as I had said previously, atmosphere and texture. They do a fantastic job of instilling this sense of dread and doom and hopelessness into their listener. Now, if I had to share with you any criticism, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a negative, but I do feel like Vacuous's magnum opus, their best record, is still yet to come. And the way I think a record like Dreams of Dysphoria could be taken to the next level is simply by adding in a few more standout moments. Now, I don't think this is a redundant listen at all. There's a lot of variance, and a lot of great riffs and patterns and uses of dynamics. But I think it's missing one or two really key, kind of memorable parts that would make this record a truly standout album. With that being said, that is minor criticism. This is a very enjoyable listen and should be checked out by any self-proclaimed fan of death metal. Vacuous does not favor a lot of flash. There's not a lot of, sticky leads or hooks. Instead, Vacuous moves their tracks along by weight. And let me explain to you what I mean. Vacuous takes sections of their songs and they trod them along through adding layers of texture and more density. And they get to the next section by taking away a little bit. And then they add more. And they play with those dynamics and those texture changes really, really well. This is a death metal record. That is what I have to say about it. It is a death metal record. And those are my thoughts. Give me a like if you would be so kind. And if you want to see more and be alerted of the next review, please subscribe. It would mean a lot. Tell me what you thought of the record in the comments. Leave any feedback. Tell me if there's anything you want me to review. You can follow me on Twitter. The link is in the bio of this channel. Keep it metal. Thank you for watching. This is Maddie, aka Beaver Mosh, signing off.